microphone 2, input pod 2. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Who is? Oh, Fred's here? Okay, cool. Alright, man. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Alright, bye. Technically, it's this. So, yeah, some move back. I was talking to my camera guy. Right here. Testing microphone, test, test, test.
4.
He's not here.
Okay, so 4, 12, 22, 40, and 52. Okay. That's the boys' game. 4, 22. Thank you. 30 is not here. Oh, this is mine right here.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Well, no, I just want to.
Gonna love it.
Have you done anything at all yet?
Nope. All right, Tim, why don't you go ahead and go now?
I don't need that.
Thank you.
Welcome to this basketball broadcast brought to you by WHOU and WFKT by Bowers Funeral Home, the County Federal Credit Union, TNT, Northern Maine Community
Can you hear me,
College,
Bill?
Scoville Building
Can you hear
Supply,
me?
Yep.
FAP Body, United Insurance, J. McLaughlin Construction, Daigle Oil Company, Priority Auto Sales, Rick Hannigan Plumbing, Cushman & Sons, KVHC, County Ag and Turf, Bolton Tire and Steelstone, Maine Equipment, Griffith Ford, Napa and Coastal Auto Parts, Pat's Pizza, Madigan Home Healthcare, Pioneer Times, Pioneer Broadband, Thompson and Hamill, Aroostook Limousines, Huber Engineered Woods,
Well, good afternoon,
Jeans
everybody, and welcome
Electronics,
to Presque High
County
School.
Physical
We get set
Therapy,
for another season of high
Katahdin
school
Trust
basketball
Company,
here on
White
WHOU.
Smiles,
Steve Carmichael joined by Bill
Maine
Jarrett, John Humphrey
Baseball
on the
Academy,
camera. Tim
SW
Youngfellow, our
Collins,
producer, back at the station. The first of this
Nortrax,
doubleheader, the Presque Wildcats
Herring Brothers.
host the Old Town Coyotes.
let's
So get
go
set
down
for our
to
James
the
Lofton
floor.
Construction pregame show. We'll talk about these two ball clubs briefly, Bill. We'll start with the home team, the Presque Wildcats. Last year, 10-8, lost in the quarterfinals to the Herman Hawks. Lost a ton of seniors: Maddie Jondro, Maddie Michaud, Elizabeth Collins, and Molly Kingsbury. Two players that were injured last year, but key players, Savannah Rodriguez and Sydney Thompson. This year, Faith Schoberg maybe may have to step up a little bit into a new role to be a leader, but she's only a sophomore.
She certainly is, and they have some kids that had to step up last year, as you mentioned, because of those injuries. Rebecca Ryder ended up getting a lot of playing time, and so hoping to turn that into some good, solid performances this year. And then they have a freshman that came over from Caribou, Anna Jandro, who who will add to this team. She's a freshman as well, and she's right in the starting lineup. So I see them picking up kind of where they left off. We're going to see a Presque team that will be shooting the threes, looking around the floor, also too looking to rely on their defense to spark their offense.
Yeah, staple as far as the Presque girls are concerned. Under head coach Jeff Hudson, they've always been a three-point shooting ball team. Maggie Castoni, she'll be asked to do a lot more. But inside, they'll have Ryder. They'll have Libby Morrow as well. You might see May Cassavan come off the bench. She can shoot from the perimeter. And that's been Coach Hutchin's system. You're going to shoot from the perimeter, and if the threes are going down, they're a tough team to beat.
Yeah, and we were talking about that the other day when we had the preseason tournament, and you see that a lot in girls basketball. I think in girls basketball you might be able to get away with that a little bit more with the threes, and like you said, when things are clicking, you really look good, and you're tough to stop, and you look really unstoppable. When things aren't going well, that's when things can get muddy and stuff, and that's where they're going to start to rely on their defense to get them to get some easy shots.
On the other side for the Old Town Coyotes, 14-4 last season. And I think this Old Town team, a lot of people are talking, Waterville, rightfully so, undefeated last year, lost in the Northern Maine Championship. You hear a lot about the Herman Hawks, rightfully so. But this Old Town Coyote team, 14-4 last year, the number 4 seed. They bring back everybody except for Olivia Albert, who was a captain last year. But you have Emerson, you have Hannah Richards, the coach's daughter, Lexi Thibodeau, Sydney Loring, Claudia Damboys. This Coyote ball club, they're going to be right in the thick of things.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. Preseason, they're at the top of my list in Class B for that very reason. Very successful season last year, maybe even a little bit more successful than what they had originally planned. But with mostly everybody coming back, another year older, this is going to be a tough matchup for the Wildcats today.
You talk about another year older, yes, but their best player, Hannah Richards, just a junior, Lexi Thibodeau, a sophomore, as well as Emerson is a sophomore. So it's not just this year. Old Town is going to be talented for many years to come, and everybody talks about their middle school team is very talented as well. So Old Town starting to grow a program.
And that's nice to see,
Yes.
that competitive basketball, because they've been down for a few years. But like you said, it's, as a coach, it's nice to have that experience and look down the bench and say, hey, I got you for another year or two after this.
Right now we're getting set for the starting lineups. This is the first of the doubleheader. The boys will play after this. Presque also in a similar situation. Very young team. Freshman Malachi Cummings is here now, the head coach's son. But you also see Xavier McAtee, who really surprised people at the end of last year, played very well. He's only a sophomore. So looking forward to see the Presque Wildcat boys. And then first-year head coach Garrett Libby, who was a great player for the Coyotes back in the early 2010s. I think 2012, 2013 was his senior year. And he was a McDonald's All-Star. He was Big East Player of the Year, sharp-shooting lefty, and now he's the head coach of the Coyotes. So right now we'll send it over to Richard Ezzi. We'll get the starting lineups brought to you by the County Federal Credit Union.
For the visiting Old Town Coyotes, the reserves, number 2, Madeline Arsenault. Number 10, Olivia Paloom. Number 20, Kylie Bradeen. Number 24, Logan Gardner. Number 32, Alexis Austin. Number 42, Peyton Cody. And now let's meet the Presque Wildcats. The reserves, number 10, Hattie Booger. Number 14, Jenna Sargent. Number 30, Elena Lagasse. Number 32, Anna Trombley. Number 34, Meg Cassidy. Number 40, Riley King. Number 42, Sadie LaPointe. Number 44, Allison Hines. And now let's meet the starting lineups. For Old Town, the sophomore, number 4, Madeline Emerson. And for Presque, sophomore, number 12, Faith Schoberg. For Old Town, a junior, number 12, Hannah Richards. And for Presque, freshman, number 20, Anna Jandro. For Old Town, a sophomore, number 22, Lexi Thibodeau. And for Presque, senior, number 22, Libby Morrow. For Old Town, a sophomore, number 40, Sydney Loring. And And for Presque, senior, number 24, Maggie Castoni. For Old Town, senior, number 52, Claudia Danboys. And for Presque, senior, number 50, Rebecca Ryder. The head coach for Old Town is Heather Richards. Assistant coaches Dan Maxson and Jay Adams. Managers Miranda LeClaire and Mia Smith. Head coach for Presque, Mr. Fred Hudson. Assistant coaches Ralph Mitchell and Tim McHugh. Managers Riley Davis and Carly Jarrett. The officials for this game are Mr. Bob Thibodeau, Mr. Frank Frost, and Mr. Evan Clark. The certified athletic trainer is Andy Hellstrom of County Physical Therapy. Finally, the Wildcats and Coyotes respectfully request that all spectators display proper sportsmanship at all times. Please do not boo, taunt, or degrade coaches, players, or officials. Let's make good citizenship our #1 priority. We now ask everyone to please stand and respectfully remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Just about set for a tip-off. Steve Carmichael with Bill Jarrett, John Humphrey on the camera, Tim Youngfellow, our producer, back at the station. Old Town and Presque, the first game of this doubleheader. It's hard to believe, Bill, that last game I broadcast was Dexter, Penobscot Valley, Class C Girls Northern Maine Championship. Fast forward, now we're in December, and basketball's back.
It is back, yes, with a vengeance. So, this is always a fun time of the year because everybody starts out 0-0. This is where everybody has hope. This is, the beginning of the season is a fun time.
Presque on the home whites. Old Town in the visiting dark green. Officials Mr. Thibodeau, Mr. Frost, and Mr. Clark. And the tip is going to be controlled by nobody as Richards and Castoni tie up. Jump ball will send it over to the Coyotes. Bill, I appreciate you jumping up here real quick after your JV boys game to come up here to call this game with me, because then you got to go back down on the bench for the varsity game, and Kevin Schoberg will pop up here.
It'll be a busy day. Kevin and I will switch roles here. And see, that's what I was wondering, too. Neither team really had possession, so you can't give it to one team, so they have to re-jump the ball there.
Castoni on the floor will scoop it up and give it off to Anna Jondro, the freshman transfer. Terrific cross-country runner as Castoni launches a three-pointer. That's off target. They'll sail out of play, and Old Town will get their first offensive possession.
And we'll see this dribble drive offense, as Coach Hudson likes to call it, a lot today.
Scoreboard sponsor this year, Coastal Auto Parts. Appreciate their support, their constant support for WHOU. Pass intended in the middle is intercepted by Schoberg. 1-on-3, takes it herself with the left hand, couldn't convert. Danboys will clear it. Now in transition, Richards hesitates, goes right, crosses back over to her left. Screen set by Danboys, a little pick and roll action. They get it to Loring along the right block. Underneath, Thibodeau with the left hand is fouled by Ryder. Now Thibodeau will head to the line.
Ryder got peeking at the ball a little bit too much. Didn't see Thibodeau sneaking in behind her and ended up fouling her on that shot. Presque looking to play a little bit of zone here against the Coyotes.
You mentioned Thibodeau, just a sophomore. This is the first. Nice to see Mr. Frost back out there officiating.
Was it 1 or 2 years that he
I think it was 2 years he was off, as Thibodeau misses both. Castoni lobs it underneath, intended for Ryder off her fingertips. And a turnover to Old Town. I believe it was a knee injury for Mr. Frost.
I believe you're right, Steve, if memory serves me right. Yeah, he's certainly one of the veterans, so it's nice to have him back on the floor.
Yes, a very quality official with tournament experience. Back out on the floor as Loring has it across the arc. Will let it fly. Off the hands of Jondro, the offensive board to Emerson. Cross court look for Thibodeau. Battles with Morrow, now Danboys. Richards. They work it around. Richards gets open. Can't connect, and Morrow on the weak side will clear it. And outlet to her point guard, Faith Schoberg. Schoberg just inside the lane, out to Castoni along the baseline. Try to kick it out to Morrow, deflected by Loring into the backcourt. Morrow will recover it. Still scoreless, 2 minutes in. Jondro for three, comes up short. Ryder is there with a putback, and Presque full strike first.
Ryder, nice job keeping her feet moving, was able to get that rebound wide open and laid it up and in.
In the lane, Thibodeau lobs it to Richard. And on the arm, going to get a foul call, I believe, on Jondro.
That'll be her first, obviously, and team's second.
Richards will inbound. They find Thibodeau. Dumps it down underneath the Danboys. Tries to create some space. And we're going to get a foul call on Ryder. If so, that'll be her second early.
That'll be something to watch here early, Steve. Two quick ones. Less than 3 minutes into this game.
Danboys makes the first. As checking in early here is Riley Kinney. Danboy splits the difference. 2-1 the score. Wildcats lead. Castoni with a right hand. Got a hand check call on Thibodeau.
It's going to be Thibodeau's first, team's first.
Jondro. Castoni, cross-court look for Morrow. Spins away from Loring. We'll kick it out to Castoni. Fakes the three, kicks it out to Jondro, steps back for three. That's too strong that time. Morrow chases it down. Bounces it to Jondro, out to Schoberg, catches, launches, connects.
Really no range too far for Schoberg. She, as soon as she gets the ball over half court, she's eyeing that rim.
Yeah, Coach Hudson mentioned she was in a shooting slump in the preseason. Didn't appear to be in one there, as knocks on her first three-pointer attempt of the season.
Good way to break that slump.
Absolutely. Shooter's got to keep shooting. 5-1 the score. Wildcats lead. Loring underneath Thibodeau, guarded by Kinney. Emerson cuts to the basket, but a travel call on Thibodeau.
Pivoted but dragged it right at the last minute there and got called for traveling.
.440 to go first quarter. Schoberg gets a screen. Jondro fades to the three-point line. No hesitation. That one comes up just a bit short, and Loring will clear it. Emerson buries the triple.
You see the Coyotes push the ball up the floor very quickly there, looking to get that open shot. Could have a track meet breakout here before it's over with both teams liking to get up and down the floor.
Emerson, much like Schoberg on the other end, a terrific shooter. She proved there. Morrow lost the handle, kicks it out to Castoni. Can't answer. 5-4 the lead for Presque halfway through the first quarter. Loring called for steps.
They picked up that pivot foot. That's been a point of emphasis this year. Making sure that the ball hits the floor first before that pivot foot comes up. And the players are getting better and better at that. It's
Yes.
tough to call. It really is.
Score update from down in Orono. The Caribou Vikings, the girls team, beat Orono by 7. As Schoberg pulls up from mid-range and buries it. She's got an early 5. And the lead is back to 3. 7-4. Arsenault underneath. Nice look for Loring. Morrow providing the defense, swatted it away. Schoberg. Morrow tries to set the screen. Castoni. Out to Morrow. Dribble handoff. Nice look underneath to Kinney. Castoni misses the 3. Morrow once again on the offensive glass. Pass though tipped and intercepted. Still loose. Kinney and Arsenault will tie up. And possession arrow favors the Coyotes.
Presque does a nice job of getting that defense to collapse into the bucket, and then they look to set up the three-point shooters around the outside, and they find them pretty well, kicking the ball out. Looks like Castoni's going to have a busy day today. She's playing man-to-man on Richards the whole way, not helping out at all.
Looks like a triangle in 2 as Jondro is on Emerson. She buries another 3 from the same spot as head coach Jeff Hudson's going to call a timeout as Jondro was a bit too far off her as it gave Emerson just enough space to launch that 3, and she's got 6 in the early going. 2:37 to play in the first, tied at 7, and Emerson with her hot shooting from beyond the arc, keeping Old Town close.
Certainly, I see some. Both teams are kind of mirroring each other a little bit with their standout shooters and looking to get the ball up and down the floor. So, so far, Old Town's been going straight man to man. Like you mentioned, Presque a little more of a gimmick type defense, a little bit of man, a little bit of zone at the same time, trying to shut down the 2 lead players.
Yeah, that triangle in 2. Jondro is on Emerson, and then, as you mentioned previously, Castoni on Richards. Kickball on Damboys. Fortunate that time because Kinney was wide open underneath.
Certainly was. That was a good violation there. Prevented 2 easy points.
They inbound it to Schoberg from way downtown, misfires. And Richards will clean up the glass there. Screen set. Richards pulls up from mid-range. Off the mark. Cassavant. Nate Cassavant checks in. Elena Lagasse is also in there for the Wildcats. Schoberg. Hands off to Castoni. Now Schoberg. Behind the back dribble. Step back. Pull-up jumper. Kinney tracks down the board. Up top, Cassavant catches, fires, and knocks it down.
As you were talking pregame, Steve, off the bench, make Cassavant play JVs last year, not afraid to shoot the ball when she has the opportunity.
Damboys. Thibodeau rips it through, up with the left hand, kisses it off the window.
Nice move by Thibodeau to get a pass to the basket there.
10-9, Wildcats lead. Cassavant looking to go 2 for 2. That one came up short. Damboys will clear it. Now it's Richards. Arsenault thought about it. Puts up the floater. Bounces off the back iron. Cassavant and Thibodeau will fight for it, and Schoberg ends up coming away with it. Schoberg crosses over. Out to Cassavant, and they rotate it over to Lagasse. Into the lane, tries to bounce it down to Kinney, poked away by Arsenault. Arsenault misses the 3 there. Cassavant with the board. 35 seconds to go first quarter. Presque holding on to the 1-point lead. Schoberg with 5 points in this first quarter, and Lagasse is called for the travel.
A little too quick picking up that foot.
Another game upcoming on WHOU. MDI and Holton doubleheader. Running a bit late. Loring. Cross-court look for Arsenault. Goes right back to Loring. Steps behind the three-point line. Rims out. Schoberg with the board. 12 seconds to go. First quarter. Schoberg lost the handle. It'll go out of play. Stay with Presque.
Yeah, she lost track of one of the defenders there. It almost cost her. They came up behind her and poked the ball away.
Anna Trombley will inbound. Schoberg, 8 seconds. Takes a handoff to Lagasse, goes baseline, pulls up off the side of the backboard. Thibodeau with the board. Tries to outlet to Arsenault, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. The score, 10-9. Presque leading Old Town. We're back in 1 minute for the second quarter.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Holton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings. And they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
The S.W. Collins Company is the only Makita Pro Center in Maine, which means we have access to all the latest tools that Makita has to offer. Our factory-trained employees are ready to make sure that you have the right tool for any project. With over 180 tools, Makita has the largest cordless offering with a single battery platform in the industry. And don't forget, we are also a Makita authorized service dealer. For sales, service, and the largest selection of quality Makita tools, go where the builders go, the S.W. Collins Company.
Back on WHOU, Steve Carmichael, Bill Jarrett. As before the ball can come in play, we have a team control call. A bit of confusion here.
Saying has the foul been reported yet? I don't think so.
The foul was on number 40, Riley Kinney. I think there was some confusion of where they were going to take the ball out of bounds. It'll be on the right end line. Loring left wide open for three. Bit too strong. Thibodeau gets the offensive board and the putback to give Old Town the lead.
Thibodeau's got a pretty good sense there down by that basket. That time she got turned around, but had the sense to keep an eye on the hoop and put in for the 2 points.
Reach and foul call on Emerson. That was Thibodeau's second field goal. Just a sophomore. Schoberg, Cassavant, Jandro, Kinney, and Trombley out there for head coach Jeff Hudson. Thibodeau, Emerson, Loring, Arsenault, and Richards for the Coyotes. They get it into Jandro. Kinney looks to post up. Hands off to Trombley. Out to Schoberg. Misfires there. Cassavant, the rebound, looking for the putback. That'll be a push in the back as Thibodeau had position.
This is going to be Cassavant's second, I believe. Just her first.
Just her first. That's the fifth on the Wildcats. As Libby Morrow checks back in.
Forgot to give Kinney her foul. That's why. Doubled up. Yeah, she got a little frustrated there with missing that shot. Called for over the back.
In the corner. Arsenault for three. Sputters in and out. Loring the rebound and the putback. Quick 4-0 run for the Coyotes to take a 3-point lead in the second quarter. Trombley ties it back up at 13 as she connects from three. Trombley was a swinger last year. JV, then varsity. Loring misses that time. Yeah, talking to head coach Jeff Hudson, wasn't quite sure about the rotation yet, depending on how many kids we're going to see playing time. But so far, he's used Cassavant's come off the bench. Now you've seen Trombley come off the bench. We've seen Lagasse. So he's already used 3 players off the bench. As it's tied at 13 as a timeout called here. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 6:31 to go first half. Tied at 13 between Presque and Old Town. The boys' game will follow this one, as it's the first 4-game weekend of high school basketball. A lot of teams in action across the state of Maine. Plenty of games for you on WHOU. These 2 games here, MDI and Holton, coming up soon. Tim Tweedy, Rob Moran will bring you those games, as well as Penobscot Valley and Mattanock Academy tonight, as Ryan Lincoln and Brian McDormand will be there. McDormand, a household name in Old Town.
Successful
Very
boys
successful
varsity coach there.
Jondro can't connect there. Danboys saves it from going out of play, right to Emerson. Danboys in the paint, finds Thibodeau. Off the back iron, a bit unlucky there. Castoni with it for the Wildcats. Kicks it out to Trombley, already hit 1. Can't get that one to fall. In transition, Coyotes back the other way. Richards, Euro steps to the lane, can't finish, and a tie-up possession arrow favors Presque.
You can see what happens, how one of the reasons Coach Hutchins wants to keep the ball out of Richards' hands is when she did a good job of penetrating into the bucket there and almost came away with 2 points.
Schoberg, little runner, wouldn't go. Richards hesitates, guarded closely by Castoni, fires a 3-pointer off the mark. Loring fights with Morrow, gets the offensive rebound, a second chance opportunity. Richards with the finger roll, banks it home.
Yeah, from Richards didn't stop moving after she missed that shot and put herself in good position to get the shot.
Trombley to her right, bounces it to Jondro. Now Castoni. Doesn't go for Castoni from downtown. Richards. Emerson will swing it to Thibodeau. Shuffled the feet just a bit there. That warrants a travel call and back the other way. As Riley Kinney checks back in for the Wildcats.
I'm sure, both teams, I know Presque for sure had a preseason tournament, but you really can't recreate what the first game of the season is going to be. And so got to get those jitters out.
Morrow couldn't connect underneath. Ball still loose, chased down by Kinney. Dragged the pivot foot. And that'll be a travel, as Old Town that time went to a 2-3 zone.
A little different look.
Arsenault checks in for Richards. Score is 15-13. Old Town leading Presque. Presque fans looking for a travel call there. It looked like Thibodeau kept her left foot on the ground. Loring, once again, on the offensive glass. We'll give Old Town another possession. Emerson crosses over, bounces to Thibodeau, and looked like she dragged the pivot foot that time, and that'll be a travel.
I think for the Wildcats, key will be, if they continue to play this triangle and 2, is to be able to rebound out of it. That's one of the weaknesses sometimes, that offside rebound. So, and Old Town's come away with a couple offensive baskets.
Castoni gets a clean look. Rims out. Arsenault swings it to Loring, rips it through, drives baseline. Cut off by Kinney. Now Thibodeau inside the lane, dumps it off to Danboys. A little 8-foot baby jumper goes. Schoberg gets a screen from Kinney. at the mid-post, tied up by Thibodeau. Great job to get her hands in there to tie up Schoberg, and it'll be Old Town basketball.
Yeah, just tried to do a little bit too much there on her own. Maybe a little frustration after hitting that first shot, not getting a couple others to fall.
.250 to go in the first half. Loring. Damn boys, rips it away. Now Loring once again. She's found herself open quite a bit. Richards, little runner, gets the friendly roll.
That is known as a shooter's touch in the business.
19-13, biggest lead so far for Old Town. Castoni has it stripped away off her sneaker. It'll be a turnover to the Coyotes.
Last couple trips for the Wildcats, not a lot of ball movement on offense. I think they need to get back to what they were doing at the beginning of the game to get some of those open shots and get the ball moving a little quicker.
Thibodeau, double teamed in the paint. Top to Dan Boys, they swing it to Arsenault. Picked up by Jandro. Jump pass to Loring. Bounces to Thibodeau. Ball moves beautifully as they find Dan Boys for the lay-in. It's good-looking basketball, Bill.
It is, and on the other side, as you said, Old Town moved that ball very well. Got the defense on their heels and was able to exploit it.
8-0 run now for the Coyotes. Castoni rips it through, drives into the lane. Tries to fire it up, but it was deflected. They're going to say off of Castoni and back to Old Town. Defense is tightened up, too, for Old Town.
Certainly has. It certainly has. There's nothing in that paint right now for the Wildcats.
Lagasse is in, as is Casavan. Dan Boys forces Schoberg to come out to guard her. Presque still sitting in that triangle in 2. Good call away from the action. It'll be a team control on the Coyotes. Foul goes on Arsenault.
Only the third. Not a lot of fouls here. We've got just over a minute left to go before halftime, and only 8 fouls between the two teams. You hear Coach Hudson down below thinking that his offense overpassing just a little bit too much. Take the shot when they get a chance.
Lagasse. Schoberg tries to pull up, deflected by Arsenault. 50 seconds to play. Here's Emerson in transition, goes up with it, couldn't convert. And now it's Schoberg back the other way with a left-hand dribble. Found an opening, rolls off the iron, and on the weak side, Thibodeau will clear it. Up top, Arsenault. See if they look for the last shot here with 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Arsenault has it. Across the arc, finds Thibodeau. Goes left to the mid-post, steps through with a finger roll, banks it in.
A nice step-through move by Thibodeau just before the buzzer.
And that'll do it for the first half of play. A 14-3 quarter for Old Town as they trail by 1 at the end of the first quarter. Now they lead by 10 going in to the locker room. And, well, it took Old Town a little bit to get going, but once Thibodeau started to find her role, Richards found her legs, Loring has found herself open a bunch, Dan Boys has been a presence underneath. Emerson kept him in it with her hot shooting in the beginning, and right now Old Town has to be happy heading in the locker room with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, good ball movement. I think that second quarter, for the Old Town offense, and as you alluded to, the defensive end only gave up 3 points to that quarter.
Yep.
Now, if you could do that to a typical Wildcat team to hold them to 3 points, you've played some pretty good defense. So, stepping it up on both ends of the floor for the Coyotes has put them into this 10-point lead going into halftime.
So right now we'll head for a break. When we come back, we'll have our Katahdin Trust Company halftime show. The score 23-13, Old Town leading Presque. We're back in 3 minutes on WHOU.
It's never too early to start planning for your future, whether that means protecting your family with life insurance, college planning, or starting to save for retirement. I want to help you get started.
Regardless of your age, it's important to start planning for your financial future now. And as you inch closer to retirement, it's important for you to protect your assets, your retirement income, and your family.
Thompson Hamill has many tools available to help you chart your course on your financial roadmap. Thompson Hamill, LLC. Your family, your future.
Tired of the same old boring meals? Try something new this week. TNT Takeout at 69 High Street in Holton has what you're looking for.
And believe me, the name doesn't lie. The food is dynamite. Every pizza is loaded with lots of gooey cheese and delicious toppings, from traditional pepperoni to barbecue chicken, combination to vegetarian pizza, or all meat.
You can grab their specials or enjoy salads to food off the grill, Mexican seafood, and hot or cold subs. TNT Takeout, the convenience store that has it all.
Call 521-5250.
From kitchen excellence to building damage, owning your own restaurant comes with a lot of liabilities.
Among drivers, vehicles, and business property, there's a lot of exposure.
If our equipment fails, we know United Insurance has us covered.
For us, finding the right words for marketing campaigns is simple. Finding the right insurance is not. That's why it's nice to know United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
The United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
White Smiles Family Dentistry realizes that life gets busy. We have locations in Presque Isle and Fort Fairfield to better accommodate your busy schedule. If you need to see a dentist but don't want to wait months for an appointment, then call White Smiles Family Dentistry. We are always accepting new patients and can accommodate you as quickly as possible. We offer the area's most complete dentistry, including implants, extractions, root canals, and implant-retained dentures, which saves you from trips downstate or transfers to another dental office. Don't wait months to see your dentist. Call White Smiles Family Dentistry today.
This is Ben Adams from Priority Auto. This is Ben Adams from Priority Auto Sales. Listen, I know you've been seeing a lot of these orange plates around town lately, and trust me, I'm not just paying people to drive around in our vehicles all day. Every day we're selling cars, trucks, and SUVs. Why? It's simple. Discounted prices up front, great selection, and low pressure sales. We're simply not playing the games. We really are creating a new way to shop for a used vehicle. Check us out at yourpriorityauto.com and like us on Facebook. Priority Auto Sales, Route 1 in Holton.
Back on WHOU, Steve Carmichael with Bill Jarrett, John Humphrey on the camera, Tim Youngfellow, our producer. The score at the half, 23-13. Old Town leading the Presque Isle Wildcats. Our Katahdin Trust Company halftime show. And Bill, I say you look at Presque Isle, really a tale of two quarters. Started off real well, had 10 points in the first quarter, just 3 in that second quarter. You mentioned the ball movement sort of changed when it came into the second quarter. As you mentioned, maybe a little more individual one-on-one play, as Presque Isle were really accustomed to that dribble handoff game where they attack with the right hand handoff, and then they go with the left hand handoff, and it kind of turns into it usually eventually ends up in an open three-point attempt.
Yeah, because what you try to do is you try to get that defense to collapse so that the perimeter people continue to move into that open spot, and then you kick it out to them. And again, they got a few looks like that, but different than the first quarter, they weren't falling.
Right.
And then I think kind of maybe, first game jitters, panic a little bit.
Sure.
Where they started to kind of go one-on-one a little bit. But I'm sure that, halftime coming up, Coach Hudson and Coach Mitchell will go over that and settle the troops back down, so to speak, and get them running that offense again.
So just some first half scoring numbers for you. For Presque Isle, they were led by Faith Schoberg, who had 5 points. Anna Trombley and May Cassavant with 3 apiece. and then Rebecca Ryder with 2. On the other side for Old Town, Madeline Emerson with 6 points, as well as Lexi Thibodeau. You had 5 points from Claudia Damboys. Hannah Richards had 4, and Sydney Loring with 2. Just a reminder right now, the MDI boys in Holton are playing over on, it's on WHOU. It's just a different link. You can go back onto our website, whoufm.com. You find all the games that we're broadcasting. Tonight we have Penobscot Valley and Mackinac Cook Academy. And this is the first game of an 8-game week for, well, this stream as well. We got the Old Town Presque doubleheader. Today, on Monday, it's Easton and Fort Fairfield boys. Then we're back here on Tuesday. We have Holton Presque Isle girls that play on Tuesday. Holton Presque Isle boys play on Wednesday. Friday, we're off. Central Aroostook Fort Fairfield girls. And then we're back here again as Waterville and Presque Isle play next Saturday. Really interested to see the Waterville girls as a team that was 18-0 last year. Well, they were 20-0 heading into the Northern Maine final, and they lost to MDI, but they bring back everybody.
Yeah,
so
they do.
Waterville is one of those teams, and really a lot of people are talking them heading into the year for Class B girls.
And the other interesting thing is this is part of that crossover game they call. The last 2 years, Presque Isle played Belfast, and it's been on a 2-year rotation. So this year, it's a Waterville, and so it'll be the county's first look at Waterville in a long time up here as well.
That's it. Right now, score update: MDI is leading Holton 15-12. As they're starting the second quarter there at Alumni Gymnasium. And while Holton making that jump from Class C to Class B, they went to the state championship last year, but it'll be a different team this year. But I'll tell you what, Holton's still going to be tough even if it's a different class.
Oh, they certainly are. They're a good ball club. They've, again, as you mentioned, a lot of players coming back. And, I think probably the biggest difference is moving up a class is that you don't have many nights off. And night in, night out, you're playing a tough competition, and so you need to be on top of your game. That's probably the biggest thing, is that and the intensity maybe a little bit, especially MDI. We've talked about that before. That they come out and play right up in your face, and sometimes when you're playing that C schedule or teams that are not as good as you, whatever class they're in, you don't get that, and that's hard to regenerate in practice. But like you said, I look for Holton to be right there at the end, too.
Yeah, and Class B girls, what we're broadcasting right now with Presque Isle and Old Town. Yeah, we mentioned Waterville. Everybody's talking about them in the preseason, and rightfully so, how talented they were last year, bringing back everybody. I think the Herman Hawks and their head coach, Chris Cameron, they're going to have a very talented team. Ellsworth is another team I think maybe people aren't talking about much, along with Old Town, with Trinity Montigny. What a terrific player she is, and I think Ellsworth will be a team to be reckoned with, as well as MDI. I mean, they may have lost a ton of talent from last year, but head coach Barker, he always has them right there at the end of the year. And some of those KVAC teams, Winslow is always a talented team. So Class B girls, while Waterville may be the preseason favorite, that may change throughout the season, just like last year in Class B boys. Everybody talked Herman, and then Caribou and Ellsworth came on strong, and Caribou ended up taking down Herman, but I say it will change throughout the year.
Yeah, it certainly will. With just players rising up, playing different roles, and unfortunately 2 injuries play in that. We saw that with the Wildcat girls last year. Even before the season got on the way. So a lot of things can happen. It's one thing to have everybody back, but you still got to play the games.
Absolutely. Getting set for the third quarter now, 23-13. Old Town leading Presque Isle. It was 10-9 Presque Isle at the end of 1. Old Town comes out with Damboys, Richards, Emerson, Thibodeau, and Loring. Reminder, tonight we have Penobscot Valley Mackinac Cook Academy. That's a 6:30 start. You can find that game on WHOU. Head coach Jeff Hudson with last-minute instructions.
It'll be Wildcat ball to start the third quarter.
Well, we get a second here. We'll do the injury report brought to you by County Physical Therapy. Whether you want to get back to sports, back to work, or simply back to living your life, County Physical Therapy can help. Visit one of their 5 convenient locations or online at countypt.com to learn how CPT can help you. Healthy on both sides, Bill.
Yeah,
it's early in the season.
Start the season, yeah, but that's a good way to start the season, is having everybody on deck.
Jandro misses the 3 to start the third quarter. Shot put up there by Emerson, came up short. Rebound tipped to Libby Morrow. Now it's stolen once again. Richards tries to fire it underneath Emerson. It was deflected by Schoberg's sneaker.
A nice job by Schoberg playing the angle there and using her foot to keep the ball from getting through.
Danboys underneath with a flex cut. Able to bank it in. She takes over the scoring lead. She has 7 now, and it's a 12-point advantage for the Coyotes.
She was able to make that face cut in front of the defense and was wide open.
Kick out Schoberg. Buries the triple there. She's got 8 points. Richards steps into a 3 off the mark. Ryder tries to chase it down. Loring rips it away. Now Thibodeau drives left. Too strong off the glass. And Jandro will clear it. Jandro gets around Richards. Out to Castoni. Back up top to Jandro. Drives right. Hands off Morrow. Schoberg. Face up 3-pointer. Off front iron. Loring in transition. Will kick it out to Thibodeau. In the paint. Danboys, 14-foot jumper. Too strong with it. Loring, another offensive board out to Emerson. Can't connect from deep. And Castoni finally has it for Presque. 25-16. Coyotes lead. Touch pass to Schoberg. Able to corral it. Now Castoni. Underneath, Ryder's open. They couldn't get it to her. Morrow attacks off the right side.
Just couldn't finish on that.
2 minutes gone in the third quarter. 9-point advantage for Old Town. In the paint, Richards.
Tough shot. Going away from the basket on that, was able to use the board and came away with 2 points.
Back out to an 11-point advantage. Castoni knocks down the 3. Presque was 3 for 16 from deep in that first half.
Castoni, I believe that's her first points for the game.
You are correct, Bill. Never doubt yourself. Thibodeau underneath. Another field goal inside the lane for Thibodeau. As a full timeout is called by head coach Jeff Hudson. We'll take a 60-second timeout as well. A 10-point lead for Old Town with 5:09 to go in the third quarter on WHOU.
Aroostook Limousines and Ace Rent-A-Car get you there in style. Aroostook Limousines has 8 and 12-passenger limousines and a 20-passenger party bus for evenings out, proms, weddings, birthdays, concerts, whatever the celebration. Travel anywhere in-state. And Ace Rent-A-Car specializes in insurance rentals and has locations in Presque Isle, Holton, and Patton at Savage Paint and Body. Ace offers everything from compact cars to vans. Ace Rent-A-Car. We do it right and we make it easy. Reach both businesses at 768-7368.
Hello, this is Tony Bowers at Bowers Funeral, and we want to wish good luck to all area basketball teams, boys and girls, as you strive for the gold ball at the end of the season. We are proud to be a part of your communities and our family serving your family since 1900. Good luck, play hard, and above all, be good sportsmen.
Back on WHOU. 29-19, Old Town leading. A whistle and a turnover. It's going to go back to Old Town. Emerson, screen set by Danboys on the pick and roll. Richards. Can't connect there. And it's cleared by Meg Cassavan. Schoberg to Morrow. Drives baseline, cut off by Loring, tries to force it up. A foul call here on the Coyotes, so Morrow will get 2 shots. Foul's going to go on Sydney Loring. It's the First team foul of the second half on either ball club. First on Loring. Really no foul trouble on either side. Ryder has 2 fouls for Presque as Morrow misses the first. Everybody else with just 1. Morrow goes 0 for 2 from the line. Still loose. Cassavan chases it down. And a tie-up called. And the possession arrow favors Old Town.
We see a little full-court defense here from the Wildcats.
Old Town rotates the basketball well. They lob it over the defense, and Emerson will break the count. Head coach Richards emphasizing patience right now with a 10-point lead. As Richards tried to flip it up, wouldn't go. And back the other way comes Presque. Jondro tried to save it. She did, but right to Thibodeau. Looking to find Loring. Chases it down.
Wildcats last time down. And this time down, abandoning that triangle and 2 and going straight man-to-man.
30-second timeout called by Old Town. I want to remind everybody that the Hall of Fame games that happen at the Cross Insurance Center, there's 16 games there. They're on December 27th and 28th. If you get a subscription to WHOU, you'll be able to watch all of those games. As 16 quality games from the Cross Insurance Center, a little precursor to the tournament. As WHOU, we do have the contract now for the semifinals and the regional finals. We'll watch our coverage. Be sure to get your subscription, be able to watch those games. 27th and the 28th. That's a lot of basketball. 16 games in 2 days.
That is. But what's nice about that, like you said, good games. Plus, for those teams, they get a chance to be in the Cross Center,
right.
and that's special in itself.
10-point lead for Old Town in the basketball. 3:50 to go third quarter.